and welcome to English Pathshala with Chani. Today we are going to try our hands at something which is different and a little difficult. So we've heard of American English, British English, and what we are going to do today is Tharoorian English. Yes. So we are talking about Shashi Tharoor and his vocabulary when he throws up new words. Which most of us are unable to comprehend. Now, Tharoor is the famous Indian linguophile, and he's the former Under Secretary General at the UN, and he's the present Member of Parliament from Thiruvananthapuram and an author of 20 books. Now, his latest book is Tharoorasaurus. So that is a portmanteau in which is a combination of two words, his last name Tharoor plus thesaurus, so Tharoorasaurus. Yes, so in which he has given us a list of 53 words which are out of his vocabulary, right? Okay, so now the first sentence we are taking up is now the background to this sentence is that when he received a lot of flack for his boisterous and polysyllabic words, so most of the native Indian English speakers couldn't comprehend, and so this is what he tweeted. So he wrote, now I'm just taking the operative part of that tweet. I choose my words because they are the best ones for the idea I want to convey, not the most obscure or the rodomontade ones, right? So he says that I use the most appropriate words, the words that would be most suited to what I want to convey, and not the most obscure or rodomontade ones. Rodomontade means anything when you indulge in boastful talk or boastful or inflated talk or behavior. So rodomontade. So he says that I don't use those words which are obscure or display boastfulness about his boastfulness about his high level of English speaking and writing. Yeah? So the most obscure rodomontade. So rodomontade means rodomontade ones, boastful or inflated talk or behavior. So I've just made an attempt to use this word in a sentence. For example, we could say that his rodomontade behavior led to his expulsion from the classroom when the lecturer was trying to explain important topics on economics. So his rodomontade behavior. So means we're talking about some student who's displaying his boastfulness about the subject. So his rodomontade behavior led to his expulsion from the classroom. Okay. One of the best selling authors, Chetan Bhagat, received a simple Twitter message from Tharoor on one of his articles, and this is what Tharoor said. Chetan's great virtue is the simplicity and directness of his writing. So he said that Chetan's great virtue is the simplicity and directness of his writing, and we all agree to that. Bhagat wasn't really satisfied and convinced by Tharoor's comments, so he asked him to use some big words of appreciation the next time. So now then Tharoor instantly whipped up this one. So this is what he tweeted. It's clear you are not Sesquipedalian nor given to rodomontade. Your ideas are unembellished with tortuous convolutions and expressed without ostentation, and it carried on further, right? So now it's clear you are not Sesquipedalian. So what would this thing called Sesquipedalian mean? Sesquipedalian is a person using long words. So Tharoor himself is a Sesquipedalian. So it's clear you are not Sesquipedalian. You do not use bombastic long words, nor given to rodomontade, nor are you boastful, nor do they convey any kind of boastfulness. And you're now, in order to avoid a negative sentence, he's used this suffix over here. So we're just trying to deconstruct his English. Your ideas are unembellished with, so which means that they do not contain tortuous convolutions. Tortuous means difficult. Convolutions again complicated or difficult to follow. Okay? Tortuous convolutions and expressed without ostentation, expressed without any kind of trying to show off your vocabulary or your knowledge. So this is the word here, sesquipedalian, which means the person who uses long words. So now we've just tried to use it in our own words. So the sesquipedalian that he is, we couldn't understand a word of a theory he was propounding. Okay, so the sesquipedalian that he is, we couldn't understand a word of the theory he was propounding. When Tharoor released his new book, that was a while back, it was called The Paradoxical Prime Minister, and so this is how he introduced the book on Twitter. So he wrote, my new book, The Paradoxical Prime Minister, is more than just a 400-page exercise in Floxy inhilipilification. So it will take you a while to absorb it and even speak it out. Yeah, it took me also a while. So this is Floxy inhilipilification. Floxy inhilipilification. Floxy inhilipilification. Now what does this hell of a word mean? So this is a 29 letter word, and which means the habit of estimating something as worthless. So when you are estimating something which you think is worthless, so he says that, so now he is referring to something which so he is saying that this is his new book and this is an exercise in estimating something. So he is judged something which was worthless. Probably this is what he wants to say. So this is how we have used it in our own words. So my uncle indulges in Floxy inhilipilification whenever his wife dishes out a new menu. So he has this habit of calling it worthless. Yeah. So my uncle indulges in Floxy inhilipilification whenever his wife dishes out a new menu. There is this particularly loud news anchor on a TV news channel. We're talking in overtones as a rule, and so this is what Tharoor had to tweet about him. So this is what he wrote: exasperating Farago of distortions, misrepresentations and outright lies being broadcast by an unprincipled showman masquerading as a journalist. Yes. Okay, so exasperating Farago of distortions. Exasperating is very annoying and irritating. So Farago. Okay, so Farago is a it's a confused mixture. So it's often a combination of lies and misrepresented facts and bunch of information, facts, figures and anecdotes which have been all mixed and given some different color, right? So that is exasperating. So it is a confused mixture of fact, fiction and figures, information all clubbed into one. So Farago of distortions, right? So that is what which leads to misrepresentation of facts, and that is what this journalist does. That is what he means to say. So a Farago of distortions, a combination, a confused mixture, not a combination only but a confused mixture. Okay, so this is what I have put it into according to my usage in a sentence. So I felt a Farago of emotions race through my mind when the speaker tried to imply that the government was causing a dilemma in the minds of common man while he was trying to assuage his own misconceptions. So I felt a Farago of emotions race through my mind. So when the speaker was trying to imply that the government was causing a dilemma, whereas he was only trying to assuage his own misconceptions. So that is how I have used. I felt a Farago of emotions. Yeah. Okay, now this is a tweet he wrote for former union minister, referring to his article in a newspaper. So now there was this article where this minister had written a sentence in an article. So to a person running scared, every shadow will be a demon. Okay, so to a person running scared, every shadow will be a demon. Okay, so in that context, in reply to that an article, so this is what Tharoor tweeted. Again, I am only taking the operational part of it. There was something here prior to this. So I believe justice will prevail in the end. Till then, we will have to allow some malicious minds there. Schadenfreude. So what is this? So we'll have to allow some malicious mind there. Schadenfreude. Now this is a German word basically. Now Schadenfreude is when we derive pleasure from someone else's misfortune, which we also in simple terms call sadistic pleasure. Yeah, so that is Schadenfreude. So if you need a synonym for sadistic pleasure, so Schadenfreude. So let us, so which means that let people say what they want to, and that is, they're driving pleasure out of your pain. So let some malicious minds allow them their Schadenfreude. So this is kind of you need to say it in that German lingo, Schadenfreude. Okay. So now we have used it in our own words. So I have just made a sentence. He doesn't have time for anything else except gossip and Schadenfreude. Right? So he doesn't have time for anything else except gossip and Schadenfreude. So this is kind of a term that can be used for in place of sadistic pleasure. Tired of trolls he used to get. So this is what he tweeted one day. Every day I encounter on Twitter people suffering from Lalochezia. All too often they direct their suffering at me and others who support my beliefs. So every day I encounter on Twitter people suffering from Lalochezia. So what is this Lalochezia? Lalochezia is when we use foul language to relieve our own stress or pain. Yeah? So when you use expletives, foul language, when you start shouting at somebody, just to relieve your own stress or any kind of pain. Yeah. So now we have used it in this sentence. The mother sister expletives men utter are symptoms of Lalochezia. Yes. So they are symptoms of Lalochezia. So Lalochezia is when you use foul language to relieve your own stress. So every day I encounter people suffering from Lalochezia. So that brings us to the end of our attempt to understand Tharoorian English, and we enjoyed every bit of it, and I hope you also enjoyed learning more about these words. So please do subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and don't forget to like, share and comment. Thanks for watching.